Yeah, you can see my screen, right?
Now we are seeing.
Yes. SQL Server 2022, which is the latest version, and which also has many editions like this. Okay, let's move on to one more topic, which is a client server architecture. Okay, so client server architecture. Do you anyone have any idea regarding client server architecture?
Dota.
So where client is a user or any client or any system or any one. So who can send the request? Okay, who can send the request to the server, and the server process the result. Server process the request, and it can send the response to the client. So it is nothing but client server architecture. Again, client server architecture is divided into three types, like one tier architecture, two tier architecture, and three tier architecture. Okay. See here, let us consider one tier architecture. Um, See here, client and database are both are in same mission. So this is an example of one tier architecture. For example, let us consider one real example. Uh, for example, okay, there is any private school, okay, they are maintaining each student's each student data, each teacher details. So for example, student name, student class, okay, how much salary he is paying, how much he paid, how much he still want to still he has to pay. So those are the details. So school can maintain, right? So they can have their own computer, and they can install their any database like a SQL Server or any Microsoft Access, whatever it is, and they can store the data, and they can access the data, because a database and the client are on same mission. So these are those type of architecture is known as a one tier architecture. Okay. Next, move on to two-tier architecture. Next, move on to two-tier architecture. See here, tier one is presentation layer, and tier two is where database server or any thing. Tier two is where database is located, on which server database is located. So these client and a database are connected, are using internet, TCP/IP, which is a one protocol. Okay, so client sends requests through internet. Okay, so which is received by a database server, and database server can process the request, and he can send the response to the client. Okay, so example of two-tier architecture is, for example, maybe. Um, so ticketing system in a railway reservation counter. I think it is suitable for two-tier architecture, because uh, so how can I say that? Uh, yeah. Let me, for example, ticketing system. So many people are assigning tickets to customers, and they have different database server on any particular place, and they are accessing that database. They are that who are giving tickets, they can use the any interface, like any web browser or anything. Okay, then with web browser, he can send request to the database server. So this request can move on to the database server using internet internet means here it is TCP IP protocol, and database server process the request, and he can assign the ticket. He will get the ticket. Okay. I think this will be like a two-tier architecture. Next, move on to three-tier architecture. Now, mostly many people are using three-tier architecture. So there is one more layer between a client and database server, which is a application server in three-tier architecture. See here. Mm, See, here, for example, we can consider Amazon website or any Flipkart website. So what will happen? Uh, we will have our credentials like username and password. And when we enter into the Flipkart website or any Amazon website, so when we click on particular product, like I just gave click on mobile. Okay, mobiles. So what will happen? That is a request. Okay, that is a request, and it will send to the application server. Okay, that will send to the application server using this TCP IP protocol, and again application server will will send this request to the database server, and the database server process the request, and it will give response to application server, and again this application layer will send response to the client. So this is the three-tier architecture. This is known as a three-tier architecture. Mm, for example, suppose I will give one more example. For example, I click on mobiles, but I am not getting any data, mobiles information. So what may be the reason? Can you guess? See, everyone, the session should be interactive. Then only it uh, will be more useful for you.
బ్రదర్ నాకు తెలిసింది నీకు చెప్తాను బ్రదర్.
చెప్పండి.
ఇప్పుడు మనం అప్లికేషన్ లో డేటా ఎంటర్ చేసేది ఫస్ట్ వెబ్ సర్వర్కి వెళ్ళి, వెబ్ సర్వర్ లోకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత డేటాబేస్ సర్వర్ లోకి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ స్టోర్ అయ్యి తర్వాత మళ్ళీ సేవ్ రిపీట్ అవుతుంది కదా బ్రదర్. అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఈ క్లయింట్ లో మనకు డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది.
ఓకే, నేను ఇప్పుడు ఆ క్లిక్ చేశాను, కానీ నాకు డేటా రావట్లేదు. రీజన్ ఏమి ఉండొచ్చు? మీకు ఆపరేషన్ చేశారు కదా, మీరు ఎందుకు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు?
ఓకే ఓకే బ్రదర్, ఓకే
ఓకే ఓకే, వదిలేయండి. సో ఇక్కడ రీజన్ ఏంటంటే ఈ నెట్వర్క్ ఇష్యూ ఉండొచ్చు. సో దేర్ మే బి ఏ ఇష్యూ ఆఫ్ నెట్వర్క్. ఓకే, and there may be connectivity issue between client and application server, and there may be a connectivity issue between application server and database server. So there are maybe we can connect application server to database server using APIs, application programming interfaces, like for example ODBC, Open Database Connectivity, and JDBC, like Java Database Connectivity. So by using these APIs, we can connect to the database server. Okay, I think you got some information regarding this three-tier architecture. Okay, so suppose in real time in organization, if someone is trying to fetch the data, but so suppose someone is some client is there, or some end user is there. There's some medical project. Let us consider one example like medical project. There is one radiologist here, and he can use the browser, Google Chrome browser or whatever it is, or any tool he can use. Suppose he is using browser to get the particular patient details, but he is not getting the details. So basically they can point out database issue. No, It's maybe network issue, it's maybe connectivity issue, it's maybe web server issue. So okay, it's maybe a issue between client mission. Oh, okay. So there are many reasons. If they pointed out, just we would like to check whether all databases are up and running, whether SQL Server services are up and running, uh, whether is there any transaction log file is full, whether is there any data file is full. So we can check these type of checks from our side, and even we check whatever possible from our side, and we will confirm. So there is no issue from our side. So then it will move on to another one bucket, like client bucket or application server bucket. Okay. Okay, next we will discuss types of DBMS. There are different types of DBMS are there. A NoSQL database and ER model, relational database, document database, network database, graph database, and hierarchical database. So these are the different types of DBMS present in the in the technology, I think. So let us consider NoSQL database. NoSQL databases are used in real-time web applications and big data, and their application increase over time. Okay, so this is the scenario where we use the NoSQL databases. Let us move on to types of NoSQL databases. These are the different types of NoSQL databases, and let us see a diagram here. See key value databases. Example like React, Tokyo, Cabinet, Redis server, mem cached calories. So these are the NoSQL data base products under key value type of NoSQL database. Document based, under document based, MongoDB, CouchDB, OrientDB, RavenDB, and examples of column based are Bigtable, Cassandra, HBase, Hypertable, and graph based databases are like Neo4j, Infogrid, Infinite Graph, FlockDB. So all these are comes under NoSQL database. Okay. So this is just information, no need to remember. I think you just know about it. And multimodal databases are designed to handle multiple data models. An example of that multimodal databases is OrientDB. Let us move on to RDBMS. Now SQL Server is one of RDBMS software product, and so let us relational database is a type of database that focus on the relation between stored data elements. See, in RDBMS software, I mean SQL Server. Example of RDBMS software product is SQL Server. In SQL Server, we can store the data in the form of tables, right? But there will be a relation between different tables using constraints like primary key and foreign key. I think Ramesh, you know about it, right? Ramesh?
రమేష్ ఎవరు లేరు కదా.
He is not available. Some late, sir. Actually,
Okay, okay. So let's consider examples like examples of RDBMS. Okay, relational database management system. So Microsoft SQL Server and Postgres SQL, SQLite, Oracle Database, MariaDB, IBM Informix, Apache, H2 Database Engine, Amazon RDS, Sybase, DB2, Microsoft Access, and MySQL. So all these are the examples of RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, by different vendors. Okay, that's it for today. Tomorrow we will start with the SQL Server installation. Do you have any doubts?
కన్వర్జేషన్ ఉంటుంది. అది ఆయన చెప్పాడంటే ఫైనల్ గా కంప్యూటర్
Yeah, if you don't have any doubts, let's close the session. Okay, bye.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
హలో సార్,
Yes, tell me.
ఇద్దరు క్లాసు ఈరోజు?
ఈరోజు ఇంతే.
ఓకే, అలా ఈరోజు క్లాసు జరిగేదంతా మాకు ఒక పెడతారా ఇందులో?
పెడతాను.
ఓకే.
ఓకే, బాయ్.